I did indeed hear that the budget for She-Hulk was $250 million. That being said, I think we should stop looking at that stuff as a negative. Because that's $250 million, you know, a lot of it probably went to executives, to be fair. Maybe we should think of it as a bad thing. Either way, like, you know, some good caterers and craft services and, you know, directors of photography and stuff like that, they got paid. They made their mortgage payments as a result of working on that. A lot of, you know, talented people working in different varieties of production. Yeah, carpenters got paid. There were like union workers who got the, you know, they bought their kids Christmas presents with the money they made on She-Hulk. It's not like it just got put into like a furnace. Just because the show sucked doesn't mean it's ass. Like the money was just vaporized. That being said, Marvel is cooked, man. Did you see that report that they were gonna like, they were talking about bringing back the original Avengers via the multiverse, and then, I mean, come on, man, it's over. It's over. We had a good run. You can't bring Robert Downey Jr. back for like one more send-off. You already had like 3 send-offs. You had exactly the right number of send-offs for people to not be like, oh, come on. Hot take, all Marvel movies are mid? Yeah, that's a really hot take. It's the first time I've ever heard that one. It's fine if you want to have that opinion, but I better not go to your letterboxd and then see something like Ice Age 2 is at like a 4.5 stars, okay? No, Ice Age 2 is better than anything the Russo brothers have ever done, bro. Fucking Scrat goes crazy in that movie. He loses his nut, man. That's unironically true, though. Russo brothers haters, when they're forced to remember that the Russo brothers worked on Arrested Development seasons 1 through 3. Hey, NL, have you heard the new Beatles song? Oh, you mean Let It Be? No, I know they had a new one that was locked into the Apple Records vault or whatever. I haven't heard anything new. I do not know about it. Unless it's like a viral tweet, in which case I may have seen it. Like, did you see the tweets that was like, bro was ready for anything? And it's a guy at a club on Halloween, and he's holding 2 drinks in the club, and he's kind of like looking at one girl, and she says like ooh and walks by. Then he looks at another girl, and he leans in to give her a kiss, and then it's actually a mask that's on the back of her head. So when she feels another person that close behind her, she turns around and goes, "What the fuck?" And then the dude looks like so shell-shocked. It's a great video. I think he may have been intoxicated. Have you seen the other clip where he goes in again and he's clearly joking? Oh, sorry, no, the context squad has been summoned. It's not like I was gonna find the dude and send him a death threat. It's just a funny video. I'm glad that this anonymous person on the internet is now vindicated, and the video is no longer funny. Thanks a lot. You've taken a little joy out of the world. Let's go. He noticed me. The male loneliness epidemic. The consequences of the male loneliness epidemic have been disastrous for modern society. Next thing you're going to tell me is the Unabomber's not a good guy. You're going to tell me he did some like messed up stuff in the 80s. Rip to the yes, thank you. You took the joke. Rip to the Unabomber. You would have loved Skibbity Toilet. Hey, has anybody here ever broke it and then had to buy it? I've had a situation where I haven't done it, but someone with me broke something and then didn't have to buy it. We were in the LCBO. This is like circa 2008, maybe. This is the LCBO is the Liquor Control Bureau of Ontario. It's the only place where you can buy hard alcohol. At least at this time, it was the only place you could buy hard alcohol in the province of Ontario. And the person I was with had like a bag, and the bag bumped a bottle of liquor and knocked it off the cabinet, or off the shelf, which then shattered on the ground. And the dude just came and cleaned it up. He wasn't like, you gotta buy this or anything. Dog chewed up my library books. I had to pay for them. The library is so funny to me. I like it, and we go to it all the time. They always have these signs that are like, you know, here's our fine policy. And I'm like, the biggest, like, if you get caught speeding or you have like a moving violation, they can charge you like hundreds of dollars. And if you do like a real crime, they can send your ass to prison. The library's like, oh, be careful. If you don't return the book that you got from us, we'll make you pay the suggested retail price of the book. I'm not saying they should change it. I'm just saying it's totally toothless. Like the maximum consequence if you break the rules and get caught is that you just bought a book. Now, you bought a secondhand book at probably like new book prices, but still. It should be, DL Guiga, back me up here. It should be 10 cents per day, late compounded, and then every month it should compound at the amortized monthly equivalent of the Fed funds rate, which right now is 312% based on the mortgage rates I've seen lately. So if you are a week late returning a library book, it should be, you should never be able to get, you might as well declare bankruptcy. It should be 1 grain of rice doubled each day. Dude, that's not even a lot, man. I'm not gonna sweat that shit until like day 27. Did you see the post from the guy who bought a 1-month US Treasury at 5% interest and then was confused? He put like his entire net worth into it and then was confused when he didn't get 105% of his principal back in 30 days. He was like, it seems like I only got like 0.6% interest on like the security that or not the security, but the instrument that I bought. What's up with that? And it's tough love, but people in the comments were literally like, you were too stupid to be in charge of your own money. Which is scary because he's probably more financially literate than like 99% of people, because he knows what a U.S. Treasury bill is. But anyway, the number one comment was so good. It was like, you really thought there was like a risk-free investment that was 75% compounded annually? Why did you think that anybody like entire history of finance, you thought you were the first person to figure this out? Why did you think that professionals were investing in the stock market? They thought they were getting the 75% from the T-bills and then also getting 8% from the risk premium? Like, it's insanity. Dude literally thought he cracked the code. 75% annual. Holy. By the way, Librarian, I did see your quote tweet on Twitter. That was sanest blue check user, and it was the dude replying to Elon Musk that said, if only the Cybertruck existed when JFK was still alive. Possibly the most unintentionally funny tweet I've ever seen in my entire life. He's kind of spitting with it, though. Yes, and he would not have been shot by an arrow if that took place. Well, I don't know. Even if find it hard to believe he'd be doing a like presidential motorcade in a Cybertruck with tinted windows. But you know, I don't know. It was the '60s. People were they were off the pendulum back then.
Baited in a hole. Baited in a hole. Baited in a hole. Baited in a hole.
I just can't imagine like how obsessed with Elon Musk you have to be for like your brain to ever come up with the sentence. Like, every time you see anything, you must be like, man, if only Elon was alive when fucking Franz Ferdinand got shot and World War I started, we could have avoided all the carnage. Like, you must be thinking about that dude 24/7. Should post that on r/alt history. What if Archduke Franz Ferdinand had been driving a Cybertruck in Sarajevo? How would history look? What if you gave the Austro-Hungarian Empire the lithium battery in the year 1900? They would charge their phones? That's a good point. I know we talk about this like once a year. It is crazy to me still to think that like, what, you know, human beings, we got a lot of problems, individually and collectively, genetically, physically, mentally, a lyrical, spiritual, physical individual. But it's fucking sick that like all this shit that we got, that we've made, you know, airplanes, Dark Souls 3, Kraft mac and cheese, etc. That shit was all made with stuff that was like on the earth to begin with. It's simply that we're so much smarter than cavemen that we took better advantage of it, and ergo to the victor go the fucking spoils, grog. Like, it's not like humanity was chilling with like spears and then an alien spaceship came down and went like, here's phones, dude. Also, here's a bunch of like metals that haven't existed on your planet up until now that have interesting physical and chemical properties. They fucking just did that shit, man. They just fucking built it up. That's crazy. I didn't do anything, for the record, but you gotta put some respect on humanity for that one. It's sick that scientists in the 18th century invented batteries. They just had no use for them. Scientists are built different, for sure. It's tough to imagine, for me, spending your whole life being like, oh yeah, my life's work is like on this one enzyme that like might do something. And then like it does, and you're like, poggy. And then it doesn't, and you're like, well, I did my best. Bad news, guys, my enzyme didn't text me the frick back. Enzyme so bad he blanked himself. But then the great thing about the scientific community is that like, if your enzyme like doesn't do what it's supposed to do, you can just make that shit up, right? And then like the beauty of it is there's peer-reviewed journals, so like any other scientist can read them and test your work. But they're all like busy with their own shit, so it might take them like, you know, 30 or 40 years to actually do, you know, do the due process. And in the meantime, your ass is retired and died like a local hero. I think I have lead poisoning. I just think it's cool, man. Because you know what the problem is like so much of the way I think about the world is irrevocably shaped by just playing too many video games as a kid. So like you think about the way that like the civilization games abstract technology growth, you know? You go down the tech tree, you can't invent, you know, rock and roll until you've already invented like mass communication or something, right? Like there's no reason that Chuck Berry couldn't have been rocking out in the damn Lascaux caves while they were painting that shit. You know, a guitar made out of, you know, rocks and twigs or something like that. Living in a cave 300 years ago. So true. I think it's crazy that you still think a day takes 24 hours to live like our ancestors living in a cave 300 years ago. I did see a tweet from somebody. I don't know how I found myself on sports Twitter. I was like, this is a hard left turn, by the way. It got me laughing because the tweet was like whatever. But then I was like, it's crazy enough that I'm going to look at their profile. And their profile described themselves as like a responsible gambler. And then every single one of their tweets was like parlays from FanDuel. So you're like, yeah, okay, I mean, maybe it might, I don't know, maybe they're $1 each. But regardless, I was looking at it, it got me laughing. The dude tweeted like, I knew I shouldn't have bet on this one. It totally fucked me. And it was, they bet on a soccer game. They bet on a defender to have more than 2.5 clearances in the game. And I was like, you are fucking addicted to gambling, bro. That's not even goals or shots or the score. You bet on a defender to have like at least 3 clearances? That's crazy. You need to talk to somebody, man. When somebody's like, I think the Leafs are going to beat the Kings, I'm like, no problem, man. That's, you know, put $10 on that, have a good time. You're betting on, you know, the goaltender to do like 6 throw-ins over his head. Like that's some Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems sort of stuff. My roommates knew a dude who was betting on the Russian hockey league. Was he Russian? Or was he just, you know, hey bro, I need something for the morning. You know, the problem with sports is that all the North American sports happen when people from North America are home from work. Did you see the vid of you on the TV at the function? I did. I did. To be 21 again. What vid? It was a video of me being on the TV at the function. And I was not standing on top of the TV. I was appearing on the screen playing everyone's favorite emoji auto battler. Everyone looked bored as fuck. They did look like they were not having a great time. But I hope they were all in on the joke and it wasn't just like one guy that was like, hey, can you guys indulge me? This will be funny. I really hope that at least like a few people were in on it. Because if it was just one dude who forced that vibe on the function, then like, we gotta talk about it. Also, only one person was on their phone. Hey, that's good. Not me being in a public place yesterday and seeing all the gamers there doing Whooper Day from Pokemon Go and thinking to myself, least narcissistic streamer by the way, thinking to myself, I guarantee like at least one of these 200 people knows me, but they're not gonna know me because they're all looking at their damn phone going like, you don't even know. You might have missed your only chance to say, wait, I know that guy. And then when your friends say, oh, from where? You go, never mind. He just has like a familiar face, I guess. Let that be a lesson to you. Never look at anything. No, don't get distracted. I did see, with my headphones off, I did see part of the music video where like Paul McCartney and George Harrison, Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr are there. And then like John Lennon and Ringo Starr are just kind of like the holograms. They're just like, I remember me? And I was like, I'm not putting the headphones on for this. It's just too much. It's just too sad. I hope if I die and people make like an AI Northernlion, it goes off the rails like that 24-hour Seinfeld account and gets whoever created that abomination banned from the content creation websites forever. You do not have my permission to use my personality in your AI created videos, okay? This is in the flesh only. Were I a member of the Screen Actors Guild, this would be the sort of thing that we're fighting for right now, okay? I am well within my rights to kill you right now. Did you see the post that was like, we need to make a list of media properties that are annoying coworker coded? And I'm not sure, if you like what you like, okay? Some of these shows that are on there, some of these movies, I like, but I understand that they are annoying coworker coded. Number one was The Walking Dead. Then there was, oh my God, you found it so fast. The Office, Breaking Bad, but not Better Call Saul, which I was like, you hit at something there. That's astute. What stunned me is that they didn't have Rick and Morty on there. But then one of the top replies was like, what about people who are obsessed with Rick and Morty, South Park, or Family Guy? And then the top reply to that was, please don't lump Family Guy in with those terrible shows. It was perfect. I was stunned that Rick and Morty was not the number one answer. A Jupiter here would go crazy. I'd really like it to have a bubble shield though. Jupiter Breeze, think twice. See, this is a type A viewer. Villager Voice. It's a type B viewer. I was cooking up a tweet, but it's more for Chibli. I think the tweet would just go something like this. You ever fart and it sound like a Minecraft villager? The end. Holy cow. People are there. The audience was ready for that one. I think it's a little too early for them to be making a second Mean Girls movie. That's the same as the first movie, except I get that this one's based on the musical. Mean Girls only came out in 2004. I get that it's been 20 years. What I'm saying is like 20 years is not that long. No, you gotta wait till the people who saw it growing up are taking their kids to see it. Nobody that saw Mean Girls as a teenager is gonna take their kids to see it. They would have had to have their kid like the day that Mean Girls came out. I'm sure there's some, but they're outliers. 20-year-olds aren't kids. I mean, they're kids in the sense of like going to see the Mean Girls movie. 20-year-olds when it's time to vote. We're not kids. 20-year-olds when it's time to pick up the frickin' check at the Olive Garden. You've got this, right, Dad? Shut the frick up, okay? Okay, polymorphic fucking generation ass. I don't know how to end it. It's all right. The Olive Garden is still a relatively economical meal for an extended family to go out for. I feel like the average cost per person is probably like $15. That's in the modern day, that's pretty reasonable. I remember we went to the Olive Garden like less than a year ago. Maybe it is a year ago. With me, my wife, my 2-year-old daughter at that time, now she's 3. Sister-in-law, brother-in-law, 2 kids. They were 11 and 7. I picked up the tab, not trying to brag, but it was like $110 for 7 people. Now, there were kids involved, but I'm like, that's, in the modern day, that's cheap, man. For the breadsticks, the soup, the salads, the entrees, and they're doing the dishes for you. That's how much a Big Mac costs now. I actually linked Chibli to an iwaspoisoned.com tweet that got me laughing. iwaspoisoned.com is a Twitter account where people can self-report what they think gave them food poisoning, usually with images. It was like, Arlington Heights, Illinois, bought these burgers at the gas station. They didn't smell quite right when they were on the grill, and I've been diarrheaing for 2 days straight. And then the picture was literally a dude eating out of a Ziploc bag. Leprechaun music. He was eating out of a Ziploc bag that just had an enormous burger patty with a slice of cheese on it. No bun, no lettuce, no plate, just out of the Ziploc bag. And then the burger looked positively disgusting, for sure. But it got me laughing because the dude said, I think it might be like lab-grown meat. And I was like, yeah, dude, the first steaks coming off of the MIT beef lab are definitely going straight to Arlington Heights, Illinois. Like, don't flatter yourself. The Arlington Heights, Illinois convenience store. It's called zipstyle at In-N-Out. Can I get my double in zipstyle, please? Oh! Also got me laughing that people just post. I'm regressing to my previous pre-food poisoning take about food poisoning, which is that people are really stupid when it comes to food poisoning. I stuck to my principles, by the way. I got a little nut throat, got a little choked up there. I got really bad food poisoning. I still don't know what gave it to me. I have some hunches, but I would never send a link to iwaspoisoned.com because I'm just making a guess. These people, they like have diarrhea and they're like, I know exactly what it was. It was the burger from Gordon Ramsay's burger restaurant in Las Vegas. No, it wasn't. That's not why you're in the bathroom 6 times in the Rio Hotel and Casino, okay? It's because you've been drinking like daiquiris out of a cup shaped and sized the same as the fucking Eiffel Tower for 3 days straight, and your body just said enough is enough. They got rigorous food safety standards back there. They can't afford a lawsuit. Why do they take pictures of it before they get the food poisoning? I guess they're still taking pictures of all the foods. I kind of feel listen, I'm a hater in this sense. I'm grateful that phase of culture is somewhat over with. Definitely, if you want to take pictures of the food, it doesn't bother me. All I'm going to say it's a little bit 2013 coded. That's it. It's been 10 years. Everyone's seen chicken and waffles. Everyone's seen ramen. We've all seen, boba tea. I get it. If it's like sometimes it's like the food is just an opportunity to instead be like, hey, I'm out getting bubble tea, but then you're fishing for compliments that are like, check out that manicure. I see you, and I respect that. Maybe in Ohio, they're still taking pictures of sandwiches with fried eggs on top of them. But out here, I think it's at the point we've kind of like almost seen them all. I had to do it with Sing Sing and La Grata del Formaggio. Well, that's true, but that's because you were on a cultural tour. Yeah, well, we're not the same, are we? Because my favorite commercial is, let's pretend we don't exist. Let's go to Outback tonight. I dream of bloke-sized lagers. Let's forget we ordered blooming onions now. Let's order 2 appetizers. I'll get the bloke-sized cactus fries. You'll get the bloomin' onion burger. Let's pretend we don't exist. Let's go to Outback tonight.